So you got any advice on some of those recruits who are getting slept on or overlooked?
There's a lot, and this may feed into another question that you have, so it could be some overlapping. But what you do on social media counts.
Mhm.
Don't be a bonehead. Market yourself on your Twitter bio, IG bio. You can have fun, silly stuff, but what you really should have: height, weight, position, year, your school, and pin your huddle link, or at least have your huddle link in the bio. And then with your offers that you get, put those out there. That's a way to market yourself. So when a college coach finds this hypothetical person, running back John Smith, and he goes on to John Smith's Twitter page, he can see, oh, he's 5'10", 210 pounds, runs a 4.5 40, whatever the case may be. And this is his huddle, and I can check him out. So, yeah, social media is one thing. Grades, I mean, as Chris kind of put, just on the analogy of how many kids are on huddle, there's thousands, tens of thousands of kids fighting for a small number of scholarship opportunities. So anything you can do to differentiate yourself from the other guy, and that includes grades, keep your grades up. And that goes back into social media, not retweeting, bad things or putting bad things out there, cussing or whatever the case may be. Present yourself in a way where that college coach wants to work with you, wants to spend the next 3 to 5 years of his life with you, training you. So those things are very important. But yeah, we've already talked about camps. Huddle is very important, especially how you package your huddle. We didn't really get into that, but the first four clips on a huddle are the most important. And college coaches will cut it off after that if
Hmm.
they're not seeing what they want to see. What are some of the important things to put on there? One, keep it tight. We don't need to see the 10 seconds from the last play as the next play is getting set up. Make sure they have those markers where you're marking yourself, and the college coach knows who he's looking at, especially when you get into the interior of the offensive and defensive line. And then when the play is over, if you're an offensive lineman and your running back broke free for a 90-yard run, we don't need to see the running back run all 90 yards. Cut it off, go to the next one. And for different positions, it can be different things that are important. For a quarterback, we don't need to see 4 or 5 consecutive, bomb routes, fly routes, go routes, whatever you want to call, where you're just launching it and the receiver's running under and catching it. College coaches also want to see the intermediate passes. If you can do a 15-yard out from one hash to the other, that's a grown man throw. Much more impressive than trying to hit the long bomb, if you will. And short passes. If you're flushed out of the pocket, your ability to avoid pressure, throwing on the run, stuff like that. So mix up those huddle reels. Again, each position is a little bit different. Defensive backs, I won't go down each one, but defensive backs, your coverage, coming up against the run, stuff like that. I actually had a coach from Minnesota reach out earlier today about a kid and gave some of the same advice. One of the first 4 plays was defensive end getting a sack, and there wasn't anybody there to block him. And that didn't show anything about the kid.
Yeah.
The next play right after that was what I would call a late hit on the sidelines to a quarterback, and that's a penalty. That's not helping the kid out with his huddle. So, but yeah, huddle is very important. Social media, grades, those are all opportunities, marketing opportunities for kids to get themselves out there to college coaches. And it's also, you don't want to over inundate college coaches with DMs and stuff like that. But the occasional DM, if there's something that you have worthwhile to share, can always be good. But just remember that profile college coach is probably getting 20 or 30 of those a day. So, it doesn't hurt to put something out there, but you also don't want to overdo it by messaging and trying to personally contact college coaches.
Yeah.